So we're going to go over another topic called variables in Java. So pretty much variables are something that can store values and be changed later on. So the variables we're going to be working on are integer variables, double variables, and string variables. So let's start by working with what integer variables are. So integers, they can hold whole numbers. So like 2, 7, 3, 100, it can hold those type of numbers. However, they can't hold decimal numbers. So 3.7, 5, 2.4, 0.1, and 4.0. Even though 4.0, that's a whole number, it has a decimal, so it can't hold those values. That's what double is for. Double, its sole reason is to hold decimal type values. And then we have something called string. The string's job is to hold pretty much sentences. So anything inside quotations, that's what string's job is. So let's figure out how we declare a variable. So we first write down the variable name, integer, and then we declare a name. So let's say this one is number. So this variable will be holding a number. Now we can either declare what the variable will be equal to now, or we can declare later on. So what I mean is, when we add a semicolon, this line of code is pretty much valid. And then we can declare it later on. So we can have number equal to 10. Okay? Or we can declare it immediately by doing this. Number equal to 10 here. And then we can use this number and maybe put it in a print statement. So we can have this number and implement it here. And then if you run the code, give some time. There, we have 10. And now we can implement this. We can change it up a little bit. So let's add a sentence. Your number is, and then we want this number to display at the end. So what we do is we add a plus here, and then we include this number. So if you execute, your number is 10. All right. Now let's work with doubles. So notice how we're putting a whole number inside double. Well, think what will execute at the end. Will it be 10 or will it be something else? Well, when you execute this, you're going to get this. You're going to get 10.0. There. You got 10. Your number is 10.0. All right. But we're more focused on decimal value. So you can add decimal value here. And there you go. Your number is 10.35. And another thing about variables is you can change them later on. So right now, number is 10.35. But what if we change it? The number is equal to 22.45. Then then this overrides this. So execute this. See, now we have 22.45 instead. Now we're going to work with strings. So for string, so for string, let's give it a name, sentence. Okay, so now we just declared a string, and inside the sentence, we're going to add a sentence here. Hi, my name is Novid Eng. All right. Now let's have this statement display in a print line statement. Hi, my name is Novid Eng. There we go. And then we can add to it. So we could do plus I love Java. And then execute it. Hi, my name is NovaEng. I love Java. All right. Okay, so before we finish, we're going to go over this practice question. So it wants us to know what the error is inside this code. So pretty much, okay, so the class and everything is done. This is where our problem is. So int is equal to k plus 2. But if we were to execute this, we notice that k hasn't been declared anywhere. There's no k value being declared. So between this block, so pretty much between line 2 and 3, there should be an extra line where k is like declared. So pretty much between here, we should have something like this. Int k equals a value. So let's have k equals 0. So if k is 0, then I is 2, and then this will print out 2. So if k is 1, then this is 1. So it's 1 plus 2, then it's just 3.